Hello, my name is Starlight. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and I just want to reach out to all of you beautiful souls out there. And you know what I'm going to say, probably before I even say it. Anyway, I hope all of you have been able to get out in nature somewhere. So anyway, yeah, I really do. I hope you're able to get out, and I know today was a beautiful day in my area, like 60, and you know what I love is I love seeing people come out and get out in nature, you know, taking a walk or taking a hike, and the other thing I love is and I see it a lot is I love when I see families coming out or like a group of friends. It is so beautiful. I'm always going out all by my lonesome self. You know, I don't have anybody going out hiking with me. But it doesn't stop me. That means I could do whatever I want. You know, I don't have to think about anybody. I could, you know, like I could head out when I want to. I can go where I want to. I can get lost by myself if I want to. No, I do love having people with me. I am trying to get my daughter and my grandson to take a hike. Sounds so mean. So yeah. Anyway, you really do. You really want to get out, you know, like, and take a hike and, you know, get some exercise. I did a really good workout this morning with a jog. I didn't go as far as I normally would do, but I had an appointment this morning. I had to make sure I get there on time. And then later on, you know, I had a really good hike, and I didn't stay there long, but I was able to do what I needed to do, you know, at this waterfalls. Everything kind of backfired on me, but that's okay. I didn't want to ruin my phone, and I thought, maybe I should not do this. But if you're watching this video, you really need to check out my Facebook, and I will tell you why in a few minutes. But anyway, I really want to make sure not only you're getting out in nature somewhere and taking a hike, is that you're taking good care of yourself and your family. If you got loved ones that are there loving and supporting you, please, you know, like, take good care of them. Let them know how much you mean to them, because you know what? You just don't know how long they're going to be here. You know, and that is so true. I do know people that I was working for before. You know, she had a great husband. Another guy had a great wife, you know, and you never know. Maybe, you know, maybe they're, I did get the girl actually interested in the guy. I worked for two widowers, you know, a man and a woman that lost their loved ones, and I kind of was hint hint, you know, with these people, because I thought, they would be a great couple. They know what it's like to lose somebody that they really loved and cared for, and they would really respect each other knowing what it's like, you know. And it's so sad when that happens. So really, you know, even your children, and I have to say with your kids, what I notice is if you're neglecting them, you know, and you're not taking good care of them, you're not paying attention to them, and maybe, you know, like, you know, I have to say, things could happen, and I'm not saying I wish for anything to happen, is because when you're neglecting them or not taking good care of them, you know, there's times that they could get sick because of it, you know, because they're not getting the attention that they really need. And if you're not communicating with them and they are not able to express themselves, because some families don't let their kids talk, you know, like, I've seen a lot out there in the world when it comes to children on how people raise their children, you know, and some of it has to do with the way they were brought up, you know, where you can change that. You know, you don't have to bring up your kids the way your parents did. Really, I didn't. You know, so I did it my way. You know, I didn't have any instructions on how to bring up my kids. I did it all on my own, you know, like, without a father figure, even though I have two kids with two different fathers. Yeah, you can judge me. I don't care. You know, I'm not ashamed of it. They saved my life, really. Having my kids was the greatest thing that happened to me growing up, you know, because when I had my kids, it taught me to take care of myself, like if I had to learn to take care of my kids, I had to learn to take care of me first, in order for me to take care of my kids. So they are definitely a gift from God. Some of you might be thinking, my kids are a curse. Well, I don't know what to tell you, and it more than likely is not going to be a nice thing either. Well, not nice, I don't want to say nice, but it's probably not a thing you would want to hear anyway, because when it comes to children, a lot of times it could be 50-50. It could be the parents' fault for why things are going the way they are, with their kids, and it might be because the way they were brought up and they just followed what their parents did because they didn't know any better. So, you don't want to repeat the same mistakes that, or not mistakes, but, if your parents did not do a good job with you, you don't want to repeat those same things with your children. You want to find out what works with your children. And there's not a book out there. If you got like 4 little ones or 3 little ones, there's not one book out there and on this planet that will help you to take care of all 3 of them the right, correct way. All of them are individuals. So all 3 of them, or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7, or there's people I've known that had 9 kids, or even more. My grandmother had lots of babies, of course different husbands in there, but lots of babies, like 15 I believe is the count that my real grandmother had, but they weren't being brought up right. She didn't know how to bring up kids, it was, so it wasn't really her fault, and they lacked education. I come from a background with families that did not have an education for one reason or another. So that's a big reason why parents bring up their kids a certain way, because they lack understanding. They lack the know-how to what is the proper way to bring up their kids. And like I said, what works with one child doesn't work with the other one. I had 2 different kids by 2 different fathers, and like I said, hey, you could judge me all you want. They were the gift from God. They really were. I love both of my babies, and even though their fathers weren't there the whole time, I had to be the father and the mom, and on that note, my son was so beautiful. He still is. He would give me Father's Day cards. Isn't that so sweet? Because he knew that, hey, she's my daddy and my mommy, believe me, if I could, I'd have 50 more kids. Forget having 10 more. I would have a lot more. I wanted to have more kids. My doctor thought I was nuts at 49 wanting more kids. I did. I wanted to be a baby making machine here. Pop out kids all the time. All I needed is, hey, I'll stay home with the kids. I do. I wanted to be a stay-at-home. I was able to do that before, and I loved it, being a stay-at-home mom. That's why I had that video about, have you ever thought about homeschooling? So anyway, I know I'm getting a little off here, but I want to make sure you take really good care of those kids. Pay attention to them. Be an ear, not just a like in one ear and out the other. Really listen to them. Make sure that they're able to communicate. Some people shut their kids out. They don't want to hear what they got to say. Maybe they got something they really need to say. You need to be ears and pay attention to what they're saying to you. You never know what they're going through, even at school or even at a babysitter's or wherever. There might be something important, that they need to say. Some parents say children ought to be seen and not heard. Well, where that can go, that shouldn't even be said. That's why some things don't go the way they should go with kids, because parents don't want to hear what they have to say. Give them a voice. They need a voice. You don't want to have your kids believing that they don't have a voice and that their voice don't matter. Then they're never going to speak up, for themselves when they get older. So really, you got to think of, let your kids communicate. And I know there's sometimes you might be busy, and then you just let them know, hey, honey, you don't have to yell and scream and call them all kinds of names. Say, mommy or daddy's busy right now. When I get done doing what I'm doing, because they need to learn that. They need to learn patience. Just because a kid wants something don't mean that you got to do it right away. is they need to learn patience. You got to teach them patience. Let them learn that. I understand that you want to talk to me right now, or you need something right now. I mean, if it's emergency, yes, help them out. But if it's not an emergency, that they need to learn patience, because then when they get older, then they're going to learn, hey, everything doesn't come at a snap of my finger because I want something, because it's not how life is. So I do have a lot of videos already on my computer about with helping you out with your kids. Believe me, I really want you to reach out to me when it comes to kids. I love kids. I want to be their little angel to protect them. Really, I really, like Archangel Michael protects me all the time. I would love to be an angel and just protect all these babies out there so they do not get hurt. Like I do. I have even animals and people anyway. And that's why I have a YouTube channel. But anyway, you can like this video. You could give it a thumbs up. You could share it. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. You could leave a message down below. Don't forget the notification bell. And you can actually, if you want, you can send a message to me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook at Kathy with a K Dingman Starlight. So anyway, now that I've taken care of all of that, is I do want to reach out to all of you and see how all of you are doing. And today I want to reach out to you and let you know that you like as parents need to be a good example, like to them, and like to teach them, by the example that you are being, so not all the kids out there have good examples, and that's why it's so important. I do have other videos out there on either on YouTube or on my computer right now. So you want to make sure you're being the right example to your children. And I'm trying to think right now is, there's so many different topics with children is, like, be honest. That's one way of being really good parents to your children, is to be honest with them. When you say something, this is where, this happens a lot with families, is that parents might make promises they don't keep, and I'm a person, I had somebody that, like, on Facebook that said, will you promise me, you'll be back here tomorrow? And I'm like, sorry, but I don't make promises. That's a really a bad thing to do. But anyway, I just want to throw these little tips out there, is to really be an example to your kids. And, if you say something, follow along through it and do it. Don't make up stuff, and because that's a form of lying. Say, yeah, we're going to do this later, and then, like, no, we're not. I do understand things come up. But anyway, now we can get to the video. I almost got a little sidetracked because I do love kids. So I will be making more videos on children with their safety and stuff like that, because it is important. But today, what I want to talk about is about people. Maybe you're in this spot right now. This is something my whole life, I don't know if you do this, but sometimes it changes though. Like, we got laws that we go by in the world, like seatbelt laws, and you shouldn't speed, or, which, you shouldn't speed. It is not safe for you or other people around you. So speeding is really absolutely not the right thing to do. So some people get upset and angry about that, and, but, so what I'm saying is that we have laws and rules to go by for our safety. Not all of us might agree with those things, like the seatbelt law. Some people will argue about that. And then you might have rules that you make for yourself. Sometimes your rules that you make might change. Like when, for instance, okay, some of you might get mad at me about this, but it's okay that you get mad at me. That's okay. At least you're doing it to me instead of somebody else. I'd rather you'd get mad at me instead of, getting angry with somebody else. Or you could talk about me. At least you're giving somebody else a break, right? I have to be funny here. So anyway, maybe, like we all have rules that we make for children, for instance, or like a married couple or a boyfriend or girlfriend couple might make up rules in their relationship, what they want in their relationship or what they don't want. So, and as they get to know each other, then they have different rules like that, what they expect each other to be like, as in that relationship. And it's so important, like, you wouldn't want to go with somebody and like say, for instance, like I did just see a video on this, is about like cheaters and stuff like that, and a YouTube video is liars and cheaters or something, and but anyway, I did watch that video and I did get a lot of help, and I ended up seeing things that I really didn't expect, but I did get a lot of help from that video, is things that I never thought of. So so it is kind of funny. Sometimes YouTube will send a video my way to like about YouTube videos, and I'm like, I never even thought of this. So anyway, we do make rules like with relationships, and like for instance, like whether you should have like the same sex kind of, well, no, the opposite sex friendships, outside of your relationship, not an open relationship, not where you're like having like I'm guilty of thinking of this stuff in my past. I always thought it was kind of backwards the way this whole thing was, where a lot of men want to have two women, like in a relationship or whatever, and where he would have two girls and one guy, and I always thought that was kind of really backwards there, because a guy doesn't last very long. And he wants two girls. So a girl could last longer. I thought, that she should have the two guys instead of one, but anyway, but now I am definitely a one-man kind of girl. Like, I only need one. I got plenty of love for one man. But there are people out there, and you could do your own thing. I've actually been invited to those on a dating app. Yeah, me. I was invited. I actually had I didn't know, like until they sent me a message. I had somebody, a couple, not just once this happened in my lifetime on a dating app, where I had where a couple couples reached out to me and said, hey, we both like you, the guy and the girl, and they were looking for another female to join them for an open relationship. And like I was like, wow, I'm really touched, like really both of you actually are agreeing that you would like to have me as, your third party. And did I go? No, I didn't. So have I? And that's a secret. So anyway, this is too funny. So anyway, so there's rules that people have where they might say, hey, this is the kind of relationship I want. I want two girls, like if you're a guy, or maybe you're a girl and you want two guys, and, where if you ever get along that way, I don't know. I think a lot of jealousy would happen in those kind of relationships. I know, yeah, I don't like it. It would never work with me if it was two girls with one guy. Never. Absolutely not. Two guys and one girl, maybe, but not two girls. I would definitely be jealous. So, those are my opinions, though, so it is kind of funny. And I'm not embarrassed. It's just being human, really. It's just saying, hey, this is how I am. But, like there's nothing wrong with what I think on these topics. And so you might have rules, like as a couple. And or you might have rules of, like I heard on this video, is what you think is cheating, like, and so some people have issues, and I've seen a lot of that in my lifetime. And like with cheaters and stuff like that out in the world. Like they say, and these are, I used to believe in this stuff when I was younger, is once a cheater, always a cheater. I thought that my whole life. Or once they abuse you, then they're always going to be abusive. But then I believe that people can change, So I do believe that, because I changed when I got saved and went to church. I wasn't the same person anymore like I am not now. I'm a different person. So I believe that people can change. You might think that the person is, but there are some people out there, they do. I know some people out there that, the way they were when they were younger, that not much really has changed. So here we go, the real main reason why. So you might have rules of whether you might, would you go with would you ever go with a guy that's married, or would you ever go with a girl that's married? Do you think that you should try to get in between? If you see that the married couple is not happy and they're not, apparently if somebody is with a married, okay, a guy and a girl, they're married, they did have wedding rings. They say they've been married for 5 years, right? Apparently something's wrong if one of them's going on a dating app, looking for somebody. There's something not quite right. Why are they going on it? I've had many married men contact me on dating apps, okay? And then there was many of them that said they would never leave their wife. They truly loved their wife, and they would reach out to me. Well, why are you reaching out to me? Apparently you're never going to leave your wife. You really, really love your wife, and maybe they're great at being a mom. Maybe they're great at being a cook. Maybe they're great at doing the housework, and they love all this, but there's something missing, so, so you might have a rule like that where you're like, you might be a single person and I would never, try to go with a man or a lady that's married. Absolutely not. I have beliefs, I was brought up never to, the Bible, or whatever, your beliefs are, so when I started out, I believed that my whole life I did, and then there was a point when I matured and got older and realized, wait a minute, I always thought, hey, if there's a wedding ring on and they got married and all that, but what if they're not happy? Would you still believe the same way? If they're miserable, would you think the same way? There's many people that get divorced, out in the world these days, So, it's up to you what you believe. I can't force you to believe anything. But to me, say if I was married with a man, right? And I am doing everything I can to, I'm against divorce. But at the same time, I actually feel that, if somebody is working so hard to keep the marriage going and the other person is not, but before it was always if I was abused, and that's really me, is that I really if you're being abused, run. Really run. And that could be a guy or a girl. Women can be abusive just as much as men can. It's not just men that are abusive to the females. Women can be very verbally abusive. There's all kinds of forms of abuse, or beating on them. I've actually have definitely known that, is that there's some women that they don't get what they want. It's the way they were brought up. They were spoiled. And then it's they freak out, or they might cheat on their spouse. Do you want to be in a marriage where, you can't trust the person anymore? That would be another reason why I would actually say, hey, you could freaking come home and give me AIDS. How do I know, you're going out and you're messing around and you come back and give me AIDS because you're not using protection on somebody, So you really got to really know what you believe as far as that. And now to get to the really point of what I'm really talking about is, would you go back with your ex? I have rules, and that is definitely a rule that I have to say throughout my whole life. I have kept that rule my whole life, is I believe, and you have your own beliefs. Maybe you went back with an ex. Did it work out? or did all this stuff start all over again? To me, going back with an ex is going backwards, not going forward. So I've actually had, I do listen to tarot card reading, and there's sometimes my tarot card reader guy will tell me that, there's an ex, and it is true. It is kind of weird that, not just one, where there could be many, exes wanting to get back with me, either exes that, like a boyfriend, or like a person that I got involved with that might have been just a time that I wasn't ready for a relationship, and I don't like these. I can't do them, is one night stands or friends with benefits stuff. I can't do that stuff. It doesn't work with me. I can't. I want to be in a relationship, so one night stands are not for me. Absolutely not. So sometimes like people, they might have an ex that wants to come back in their life and say, hey, that was 10 years ago, like we were together, and I've known people where they might have been married like long time ago, and they separated, they separated, got divorced, or quickly got divorced, and then split, went and moved their own ways, were, not together for like 10 or even longer years, and then later on they decided, hey, let's get back together again. And they did. They moved in together, and guess what? It hit the fan is what, that absolutely backfired, and, so I am totally a person that, because, you're going back in the past, number one, you're going backwards, you're going in the past where you really want to kind of go towards the future, not in the back in the past, you want to keep going, like you want to stay in the now, and but you don't want to look back either, really. To me, it's like run, did you break up with them, or did they break up with you? Who were you at that point? Like, and how long ago was that? You're not going to be the same person you were at the time. They are not going to be, you're going to be totally different. Some people, they think because they were together, before, that then they actually hurry up and quick and get back together again. Some people, they get together for the wrong reasons. I actually, some people, I hate to bring this, I don't want to use that word. I don't like that word at all, but delete that word. I don't like or dislike, I don't want even that in my vocabulary, is when, there's times that this happens where, people been together for, like many years, and, where they split up and they get back together, and they're totally different, like where they're not the same people anymore, or, they get back together because the sex was really freaking hot, and that's the only reason why they're going back. They miss something, they might not really be getting together with you, but maybe you were really, really good in some areas that they went and they tried to find another girl or another guy that could make love like you could, and then, or love you, but you know what, to me, long time ago, like if they messed up before, like I said, they're not going to be the same person, like how are they now? And a lot of people, they jump in quick in those kind of relationships because they're like, like we were together already. We already know what each other is like in bed, and so there's no sense in waiting to get to know each other again. And then boom, before you know it, they're already moved in, because they want to start back off. A guy could be guilty of that, or a female. She could be saying, hey, he was good in bed. I've gone with these other men, and they were boring, they were dull. Sex absolutely should not be boring. I'm definitely 100% a believer of that. You got to make things interesting. I learned all on my own when I was young is I'm going to do whatever it takes to make that man satisfied. He's going to be happy when it comes to the bedroom scene. No doubt about it, never dull, so you don't want to, and then, if you've been with somebody that was really good, a good lover, and then, you go with somebody else and it's like, huh, that's it, huh? And then you're like, what the heck did I get myself into? Really, it could be a really bad thing, and you might try so hard to try to get them to do different things, like, hey, would you like to try something, and they might, try something, but then they get back to their old routine, like just, dead stuff, really dead, like to, where they don't want to get a good workout, behind the bedroom scene, work out, man, get out of that bed, move around a little bit, and that's where a lot of couples, they get lazy in the bed, where they just want to lay in bed and, do the side, I don't know, spooning, just lay there and, that's it, so you definitely, as a couple, you definitely want to keep things interesting and go out and, buy different things, role play, if you have to, if you don't really know where to start, really is do what I did before is I looked on porn sites and me, I learned a lot of stuff. I'm like, hey, that looks like fun. I want to try this. I want to try that. And I did. I wanted to try all kinds of goodies out there. So you need to explore, actually there's times that I didn't want to have any sex at all. It was taking a long time. I took years off and I wanted to find out about ways of having sex without having sex, how to get pleasure without. So that's really, that's something I'm very interested in, I know that there's energy and stuff like that, that you could use, and it doesn't even have to be always having sex, with your partner. So when it comes to going back with your ex, do you really, sometimes they might just want to be taking something from you that they might went out later on and try to find another girl or a guy that could be good, in the bedroom scene, and they went out and they try to find it and they're like, and that's all they could do is think about you, because they're like, I had, everything was great in that area, but what about all the other areas, you got to really think. Don't just think, hey, they were good in bed or they were a good worker. You got to put all the pieces together, remember, why did they break up with you or why did you break up with them, and you don't want to definitely jump into any kind of relationship quick like that. Get to know them. I know I say that, and I got to cut this. Anyway, I do have to cut this. I'm going to have to make another video on another topic on relationships when it comes to this kind of stuff. But really, think twice if you're thinking about hooking up back with your ex. Did they break up with you, number one? Or did you break up with them? And if you're thinking, I can't make you do anything, but if you're thinking, ask them, why do you want to come back with me? Why do you want to get back? See what they say. If they don't really have a quick answer, I'll tell you, that could be a red flag right there, If they can't say exactly why they want to come back with you, what do they have to offer you? Do they even have anything? That is the thing. Do they, you might be growing now where they are not, so really you got to really think of how far, where are you in your life right now? How far have you come? Are you climbing up the mountain or just going back down? And if you're climbing up the mountain in life, you're trying to work on yourself, you're improving things, you got a better job, you're, financially stable, and you're, taking good care of yourself, you're getting, and then you think about how they are and how they were and did they change, and, So really, like you could do whatever you want, but really when it comes to going with somebody, you're going backwards. Really, you are. You're going in the past. Like you don't really want to go that way. You really want to, like a fresh, nice, clean, like a nice, friendship. You got to make friends with a new person, and don't be in a rush, like get to know what they like and don't like, as many things as you can. That way if you're a match or not. Because with me, like I'm actually the type of girl that says, hey, until we get married, I want to get married. There's not going to be any sex until I get married. And, like, so like I need to learn as much as I can with that person. And, I decided that like a while back is like, hey, what is, like I want to get married. That's the point. I want to get married. I want to be together with a person the rest of my life. Nobody else after that. That's it. All the way up until the day I pass away, and hopefully they don't. Or I don't really want to pass away now. But, like I want to be with that person the rest of my life. And, like in more lives, So, that's the kind of love that I have, where, like, I don't want to give myself away anymore, like, and I really just want a very serious, happy, fun, fulfilling, very adventurous, like, relationship, last longing, like a last longing relationship, but happy, fun, I love having fun, and I don't like to just do the same stuff over and over again. I don't want to, like every time do the same thing over and over again. No way. Absolutely not. Need to add some spice to your life, do role playing. I love to role play, go out and get some outfits, especially at Halloween time. You never know what they have out there at those times, where it might be cheaper, or online, find out what you're into. What are your fantasies? There's nothing wrong with that, Don't get upset with your girl if she wants you to, like, or even if she buys you a police uniform, like, or, like maybe you like a nurse. Buy her a little nurse outfit, It is kind of funny. I do have to bring this up. I had when I had my own cleaning business, it's kind of funny. Somebody found out I had my own cleaning business, and they wanted to get me a French, one of those really hot, like, outfits, for a cleaner, where I could have got paid lots of money they would have bought the outfit for me, a French made outfit, where I would have wore that and got paid, like, to, like, maybe clean the floor or something, and something hot like that. Did I do the job? Did I get paid? I'll make you wonder. I'll just make you wonder on that one. Get your imaginations flowing. Whether I did or not, it doesn't really matter, really. It's kind of funny. I just wanted to kind of fill your imagination of the type of things that you can do in the bedroom scene. Handcuffs are nice, blindfolds and all that stuff. Hey, if you, rope, whatever, things that are comfortable, be creative in the bedroom scene. So you definitely, it's, like, you want to make sure you know what you're getting involved into when it comes to that stuff. Especially like me, you want to be with that person the rest of my life, like, make sure that they're the type of person that really likes that kind of stuff, because not everybody is into that stuff. They just want to kind of, hey, I got my thing, I'm ready to go to sleep now, good night. Can't have that. So anyway, I do love all of you. Think twice, though, if you're thinking about getting back with an ex. I'm telling you, really, find out about him first. Don't think, oh, he was good this way or that way. Find out how he's changed. You do. You want to find out. It's been 10 years now. A lot could happen in 10 years. So anyway, I do love all of you. And you could like this video. You could share it with a friend. Don't share these videos with your dog, though, or your cat. So anyway, you could share them with, whoever you want, and you could subscribe to my YouTube channel, and don't forget the notification bell, and you can leave a message down below. You can find me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook at Kathy with a K Dingman Starlight.